high mountain lake. Probably can't hear it on the camera, but there's little crickets going on. And I don't know what they are. This place looks like it's just right. There's a little bit of bug activity in the water, so there's been enough ice-off activity. Heard that some of the locals were catching fish on power bait down here, orange and some blue spinners, so we're going to throw the black and blue leeches at them again. They'll take a blue spinner, they'll take a black and blue leech for sure. I was thinking more red and brown or olive here usually, but we'll see how it goes, and let's just get out on the water. So the only thing about having 4 tubes is you're constantly opening them up and deflating them to get them to fit back in the truck. I've been running these at about 3. So this is like our 5th or 6th trip in this Scadden tube, and I'm just loving this thing. It fishes well, it's great in the wind. Now, I've been not using my oars because they came with some other configuration and the handles need to be chopped down. I wish they wouldn't have done that, but so if I was to flip this way, you know, you can flip on this thing. I've been fishing off of really smooth sides, but then my line can get caught on these, so kind of a double-edged sword. Neither one's better or worse. The other one's good, so you can put a footrest. But I don't know, I've just had really good success fishing off of it backwards. In fact, this is where the extra platform goes, that the motor goes on this thing. I don't know what's better or worse. One day I'll fish off of it normal style, and we'll see how that goes. See if these guys are ready to fish out here. Now we're ready to launch. Flippers, life jacket, waders, net, and we'll grab a couple poles over here off the top of the truck. Any more bites? Any more bites? Not yet. So one of the other nice things about these Scadden tubes, you can tell they'd put a lot of thought into it, is the rod holders. And it's really a slick setup because you can get 2 poles in here and just by staggering them, and I really like that. I've had as much as 4 poles on one boat so far. But for today, we're going to go just intermediate type 1, and then our floating indicator setup. We're set up for 5 or 6 feet down, and we'll go out there and start looking for them. What's nice about these Scadden tubes is there's a lot of clips all over the place that are unused. At first I was skeptical, but now it's like, you know, even though this tensions my seat, when it's not in use, so you pull on this to tighten your seat up to your back, but when it's not in use, it becomes the clip to hold the flippers on. There's just so many tie-down straps on this tube. They've done a good job with that. You just have to not let it interfere with what we're doing. I better get out there. He just caught a big fish. Alright, I guess the tube review is over, and it's time to go get more serious. Looks like you tangled up one. Oh yeah, somebody threw a line out and left it, and he tangled up on that while the fish were pulling through. It's like they left a little trout line or something. Were you able to save the fish? Were you able to save the fish and get him off? Is he tangled up on it still, or did he get free? Yep. Yeah. So there's a line in the water with a fish on it, and he caught the line. What the heck? I'm gonna have to see if we can find a way to free that. I don't know if you can legally just throw out a line in Utah and then wander off. That doesn't sound right to me. But we'll remedy get if we get the chance to. Interesting day already. So that was one of the camp posts, and this is one of those places that you've got to pay to fish. On top of your licensing and everything else, it's not a part of the state parks program, which is fine. But the old dude just sent me in because there's nobody to give us any change, and eventually a camp post came and nobody got mad at us, and we gave them our money and they were able to give us some change. I don't think they have a lot of change, but at least they had something. Anyhow, we're getting ready to get out there in the water, and let's get rid of this little fan club up here. I thought I clipped all those. But this is what we're after today. This thing's been the fly of the year for me so far. I've had a few other colors, but this one, a little bit of leaded wire up in here. Got some 10 thou, maybe 15 to 20 wraps is all. And here's the secret, guys, if you're watching the video this far. This tail, the length from here to here, should only be not much longer than from here to here on smaller fish, because they'll hit the tail back here and you'll get a ton of bites and you won't catch anything. So you got to have a little bit shorter of a tail. Anyways, this is that black and blue material. I promised to show you a quick tie-in video. It's not hard to tie, but I'm using a little bit different material. I like the Arizona semi-sail black and blue. The Arizona semi-sail black and blue, but I brought in and created a mixture of some import stuff. That's a mixture of some rabbit, some hare's ear, and some blue tinsel, just to kind of simulate that semi-sail. And we've been doing really good on this material. It's been catching fish. It doesn't look exactly the same. It's a little bit, the black is a little bit shinier. And I know some places the fish like that more cottony, puffier look, and sometimes they like that shinier, slimy look. It just depends on the fish and the bugs and maybe the species too. I don't know exactly, but it's been fishing really well for us. So we keep tying with it. Only caught 2 fish so far today. Well, I haven't caught any, I guess. Good old boy over there is caught 2 fish today. Let's see if we can catch it. So when it's glassy like this, sometimes it's a little bit tougher to fish, and sometimes you got to really work with some speed and make sure you're dropping deep enough. I'll troll along. You can see my fly's been lifted because of how straight the line's going out. So we're just going to let it kind of sink back down before I take off on the troll again, and just make sure we're at the right depth. I'm thinking here today we don't need to be much more than 6 feet. I've been seeing some fish come up. Let just a little bit of line out. Give it a tiny little paddle, and then rod tip in water. So now we got the wind coming across this, which is good. A lot of times that'll start pushing food, especially in the top water. And what that'll do for us is we're basically kind of coming across the current. Maybe a tug, maybe a bottom bite, I don't know. Find out. Yeah, let's go into the deeper water. So I don't know if the GoPro can pick this up, but we're only in about 4 feet of water right now. And there just isn't a bunch of active feeders. Maybe they're coming in this area later in the evening. Maybe it's more of a morning thing, I don't know. But we're gonna head back out into the deeper water. We're just not finding them right here right now. Maybe they're just down in there resting. So it's not gonna hurt to pull a fly, you know, over the top of this on our way. But you can see the grass coming out up there. But I love fishing the shallows because you never know. Sometimes there's just some big giant toad and he's in there being lazy, and he's found a little food source that he can easily munch on without much effort. That's not today for us for right now. Alright, so we're headed down for some deeper water. We'll have many surface feeders in here, and See if I can find some fish in here. Well, it is shallow. Yeah, this one's shallow, but that's okay. There's obviously fish in here. They've been jumping. And if they're able to hold over for the winter, that generally means that they're going to be a little bit bigger. And I don't think it's winter killed. We've seen 2 fish so far. I've seen 4 or 5 jump in here. We'll find them. Fish on. A little bit slower. Wow, they do tug it. You weren't kidding. Alright. Getting some surface action too. Let's see what we got here. He's not ready to come up yet. Well, kind of. That was a good show. Whoa! Alright. What do we got here? A little rainbow maybe? Oh, that's pretty. Oh, that's a nice little fish. What's up, buddy? Oh, wow. This is a nice one. Wait till you see this one. I will. I'll pull them up in just a sec. Let me get the fly out of the net. This has got to be a holdover. I mean, it could be a stocky, but I don't think so. He's got both of his fins. Dang, I can't. I'm going to have to pinch that barb down. Those barbs get so irritating. Yeah, they keep the fish on when they're jumping out of there, but look at that. Look at this guy. He's got both his fins. It's a nice one. I can't believe how fat he is. Look at that. Hold on, he's got some of that Elmo bill on him. Dude, they're tubby in here. Alright, you ready, pal? Let's see. Bam! Beautiful fish. That was gorgeous. That was definitely a holdover, right? No way. One of the reasons that when I bring fishing, I don't try to reel too much. I like to strip it in because then I'm able to cast out the same exact distance, which happens to be about that far. And I would say I've got almost a 9-foot rod. It's an 8.6, so I'm 25 to 30 feet out. So I'm about 3 rod lengths after the tip of the pole. I'm going to cast that out, let it sink. Just fish it on the way down when you cast out too. Make sure when you cast out you fish it on the way down. And then I'm going to start the troll, just a real super light paddle. Pick up the speed. It's about a 20-30 count, I'm guessing. And just, this is the speed that they're wanting right here. Just a nice, slow, steady speed. That thing had some fins on them. It's always nice to see them when they don't have a clipped fin, because then you just kind of know that, well, I don't know if they're native, but at least they weren't put in here yesterday. You know? Yeah, that's the kind of fish, if you're going to pump a stomach, that's the kind of fish you want to see what he's eating, where he's all colored up. Both the fins, he knows what to eat in here. Oh, I missed one over there. I'm kidding. I've seen one in that area 2 or 3 rings. When we come back, we'll make sure and troll that side. Cast down into them if they're going to be doing that. Let me get us a little bit closer so we can share this trough in here. There's definitely some depth in here. Look at that. Right out in front of us. That's okay. We'll come back through here. We're not done. This isn't a real big pond. Just kind of mark. I mean, that's where we've caught fish. That's 2 fish, 3 fish there now. That's the fun thing about these little ponds, right? You can just kind of fish it and figure out where the school's hanging out for today for right now. You can try a few things. Did you get one? Alright, he's hooked up. Another chunker, I can tell. I could hear him plopping. Bring him in. There you go. There you go. Oh yeah. Huh? Oh, these fish are rod benders in here. There you go. He's tired. I can tell. That's good. Nice. It's a good one. Yeah. Another chunky. I can see him. You're on camera. Another fat tubby trout. There we go. Okay, put him in the net. He's a little tired. He's going to need some breathing. We're just going to try and revive him. Just let him swim in there for a minute, even if he's flopping. We'll just let him catch up. You need to hold him by the tail, though. Here, swing your pole over that way. There we go. Okay, hold him by the tail and give him a little bit of time to revive. Get him upright. There you go. You don't have to go back and forth. Just hold on to him and wait till he's ready to swim. Just hold him by the tail. You can test him out by lowering your net down in the water just a little bit. You're going to have to hold him the other way, though. Yep. Just don't squeeze him too hard. Alright, is he getting a little bit of water through his lungs if you're paddling? Looks like, oh, there's a hit. He's on. Okay, get him revived. I'll get out of your way. Boy, they took that one nice and slow. We were almost parked on the bottom and just moving just a little bit. Had to go down to the depths there. Did you get him? Oh, good. Oh, he wanted to take a little bit of line. Boy, we got close to the shore on that one. You might want to paddle away from me so he don't tangle your flippers. He's not done yet. I still haven't seen this fish. There he goes. He's starting to come up a little bit. Not too big. There you go. Just a little feller though. Not as chunky, but you know what? We'll take it. Take it. Hooked in the lip there. There we go. Alright, buddy, you're gonna be famous. Just really pretty though. Look at that. Both the fins on them too. He's out of here. Now, talked about why a short tail's good on some of these leeches. But we didn't talk about why it can be bad too. So you can see he did a number on that tail. He took a little bit of the fur out of it. But that's okay. Smaller water, smaller leeches, smaller bugs sometimes. Still gonna work. You don't want the tail so big it's scaring them. They think it's the biggest fish. Let that get down in there and get deeper. Boy, the spots are getting big. This one's, you're not fighting the wind. It's also sunny. A little bit of glass to fish, and the fish are still biting. Usually, that combination of it being glassed over and not fighting the wind is not always as good a fishing. But sometimes every dog has his day. Look at this place. It's flipping gorgeous. There's still some people here. You never get away from the people. That's just what Utah's become. But it's not as bad as being down on the Provo River combat fishing. I really don't like going down there and having to touch rod tips of people. It's just, the fish in that river are big and beautiful. Maybe it's worth it if you can find the right time, but you're not fishing there to get away from people, that's for darn sure. Just a little bit. Oh, fish on. We're doubled up. We're doubled up, buddy. I was gonna film it, but we're doubled up. I hooked up too. I figured we'd get something over here in these shallows. He's in. We got him in. They are feisty in here. Oh yeah. Got all his fins on them too. Beautiful fish. Look at him. They're not giants, but they're real tubby. Real thick backed, thick bodied fish. Away he goes. You on? That's a big one. I can see it from here. Get out of the shallows here before I get a stick somewhere. Interested parties over here. Did you get him? Yeah, they're just moving around in here real slow, looking for food and things to eat. They're not feeding, there's not any hatches, so really trolling leeches is probably our best option with streamers. I'm not sure. I haven't been counting. It's usually a pretty good day. I usually know if I haven't caught any. Probably 2 or 3 or 4 maybe. Maybe 5. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look at the video. What about you? That's good. The only thing that's unknown to me about this lake is what the wind does at night. And I'm hoping it doesn't get crazy tonight. I got a long paddle back through the truck. There's not really any shallows to do a little mud walk in. So we'll kind of just be stuck fighting it if that tends to be the case. But for now, just enjoy what we have. I'm glad there's no other tubers here right now. I can only imagine what places like this can be on a Saturday, especially when it's really close to, high population areas. Imagine one day we'll have to start putting in for a draw, get our time on some of these lakes if the population keeps growing in Utah. It's not a bad thing, it's just that's what it is. Fish on. This guy was down on the bottom. We let it sink all the way down. And we started paddling and trolling, and he started coming up. So probably holding maybe a third of the way up off the bottom. They could be right on the bottom, I don't know. But look at that. Oh, he's not big. Pretty though. I can say these fish are making up for size with color. You can tell they've been on a diet of bugs, that's for sure. Both fins too. Oh, no, it's going to require surgery to take that apart. Alright. Sorry there, little buddy. Maybe time to pinch that barb down too. Got to pinch down the other one, but this one just forgot to do it. There we go. That was probably some rough dentistry. I'll give him a sec. He looks like he's ready to go. Oh, away he goes. There's a nice one. That's a good one, buddy. Fishing. Not even trolling on this guy. That was just the slow hand twist retrieve, and he was up for that. Okay. They're pretty feisty today. Got a fighter over here. He's coming up. Nice and slow. Yeah. This guy's been taking the line back out. What's that? He's not gonna quit. Alright, he's not done. I said he's not gonna quit. Look, he just keeps fighting. I've had him up to the tube a few times. I might not get this little feller in the net. There he goes. Okay, he's finally out of breath. That guy's a fighter. Look at that chunk. Oh, he's pretty. About got himself off. Oh, looks like we got him in the underlip. Dude, this is fatty. Look at him. Whoa. They're just little tubaloids. Look at him. Frickin' fatatha. I'd eat that. He's still got his fins too. Okay, you ready, pal? I'd never do that. Give him a sec. Let him catch up. He's a little bit tired. Come on, buddy. I'm gonna stay over this way, I think. He's starting to come around a little bit. There he is. That was a hard run on him. This fish was not giving up the goat, man. He was like, no way. Alright, here you go. Bam. Swims off with attitude. Catching fish, you always want to make sure the fly is good. And then just checking it to make sure, especially these semi-seal style leeches. Want to make sure that the material's folded equally around the hook. Sometimes the tail can actually get wrapped on the hook and then it doesn't swim as right. Should look something kind of like that. On. Here we go. Look at that max catch. So we're fishing the 20-year-old medalist fluger with the Christmas max catch rod, a 6 weight. I think it's a 9'6". Let me get out of your way here. Oh, he's swimming hard, isn't he? With a Cortland 555 intermediate E-camo line. And then I've got a 9-foot 0X Rio freshwater tapered leader. And then we've got, I think, some Troutsman, either 6 or 8 pound tippet. 3 feet of it attached to that as well. Seems to be enough the fish can't see it, and if you have to horse them in like that, you can bring them in without worrying about losing or breaking off at all. We can fish these leaders on multiple trips. Back in, huh? You wanted to catch them twice? These fish are feisty in here today. There you go. Had to let him hit it twice. Keep this off my fins here. Just a little feller. You got one too? Nice. Really am amazed at all the fish in here. Both their fins. Just a little fella. Sounded like he caught something a little bigger over there. I heard it. Dude, that black and blue pattern that or the mix that we tied up like the Arizona semi-seal seems to be, I think you might have caught more fish today than I have. You're close if you haven't, at least gotten bites. Oh, are we equal? That's good. Yeah, I mean, seems to be a good substitute material at the least, right? It's a little bit shinier. It's just a tiny bit different. It's weird how it looks the same, but it's just slightly different. Fish like it though. Get some line out here. That's cool, we doubled up. Did you get him in? Oh, that's fish in the net. So here's that other fly. And you can see the fish have kind of beat the tail up, but there's a little bit more of that synthetic, the rabbit hair. It's slowly balding, but it's getting fish stinkier as time goes, and a little less marabou in the tail and more semi-seal than anything. Fish on. He's swimming at you. You better bring in some line. I don't know which ones figure out how to do that. Sometimes it's the big ones. There you go. Yeah. Alright. We're getting some surface action. The guy thought he was part bass. A lot of times, yeah. Nice. Yeah. Alright. Another one in the net. There he goes. We're gonna have to get a handle extension for that. Yep. He hit that hard. I was just sitting there kind of hanging out and just giving it really slow motion, like almost no movement. He's rolling up in my mind. I don't like it when you do that. It's okay. We'll get him. let you go. Just hold on. Oh, nice looking little rainbow there. Let him catch up his breath. He's been struggling for a minute there. Look on the fly here. His gills are going. Come on, buddy. He's getting some life in him. You just had to. Okay, he just needs a little bit more time for revival. There we go. There he goes. Fish on. I forgot to grind my little barb down. I think it'll be a little better for these smaller fish in here. But there's the bugs they're eating. These are everywhere in Utah right now. Those red legs on them. Wings, black body. Oh yeah. I'm filming. Yeah, those red bugs, man. We had them up at Schofield. We've had them at Strawberry. Found them here. Found them down in southern Utah, one of the lakes. Huh? Is he coming in? I thought there was some brook in here. Is it a brookie? We haven't caught a brookie yet today. Does he have like reddish fins with wider lines on him? No, I think that's still a rainbow. He's just dark. Yeah, that's a rainbow. You'll know those brookies are a lot darker, and the fins will have some red on them and really like a wider tipped edge. That was a good one. Back up to where we started, and we're going to go back for another run. We had enough bites in here that it's time to go back and throw the fly at him again. We're doubled up again today. Oh, that's awesome, man. Dude. Oh, well, that makes it fun. I was just thinking I want to go over to indicator fishing because the wind's picking up, but if they're going to make it easy for us. Oh, that's a nice one. Oh yeah, some acrobats. Okay, let's throw the line over the side. He's wrapped you. Just rotate, just keep rotating in circles if they do that. Just go in the opposite. Yeah. Some of these fish are just pulling some tactics in here. Mine just keeps taking line. These are fighters. These are fighters, man. This is fun. They might not be the biggest fish, but they got some shoulders on them. Wow. They know how to fight back. Alright, he's getting tired. Come here, buddy. It's a decent looking one. Oh, he says no to the net. Alright, he tried to go around my fins. There we go. Come here, pal. I thought he was done. Get him in so he can take a break. That was a little fatter. It's a good sized fish for this pond. It's a good sized fish for any pond. Oh, that barbless makes it a lot nicer. Yeah, that's a good one, dude. Look at him. He's still got fight in him.
Not bad.
Yeah, he's filling the bottom of the net. Check him out. That's another one. Yeah, I think there's a little pocket of them right here. I think they're feeding. They're starting to feed. There we go. Maybe if we look, he can spit that hook out real quick for us. There he goes. That is the beauty of barbless. Oh. Hold on. Oh, I'll let you go. I just want to get a good side shot of you for the make you famous, pal. Alright. Give you a little bit. Okay, he's ready. Away he goes. Okay. Parked right here, keep getting little bites, and I'm just going to let my line keep sinking until it hinges. The wind's trying to move me, so I'm kind of doing this. If you see my feet, I go toes up, try to do a forward crawl. Probably the hardest way to paddle. And then you can kind of hold position in the wind. And now you can see that the line is at the camera, it's very hinged. And then we'll start to move a little bit. I'm just going to slowly let the wind push me. I'm not even going to paddle. See if we can pick up another bite right through here. Now I've trolled and my line is really probably only in 3 or 4 feet of water because the wind has pushed me in a little bit of paddling. I'm going to let it sink back down a little bit. Just because I've had so many bites through here, I know there's fish in here. Just keep it a little bit taut while it's sinking down. Give it a little bit of life. And we'll just start a slow paddle. Fish on. Good, he spit that hook for us. Another nice tubby little rainbow. Bam. Gone. Got another fish on over there. Look at that. I can hear him splashing. Get him in. Get him on that net. Always nice to have a fishing show when I'm fishing. That's a good one. That's a good one. There is some fish in here. I hope this thing don't get fished out too much over the next month or so. People are going to have a lot of access, and that's okay. Just try to put back and educate as many as we can. Hopefully they won't get too smart, we can't catch them, but looks like we've got a fan club down there in the canoe. Well, I let off the tension, darn it. And that's the price you pay when you go barbless. You just can't let that tension go. But it's a lot easier to release fish, that's for sure. Fishing. Just keep throwing that line over the side of the boat so we're not getting tangled up today. That's pretty. I just can't believe how much these fish roll. They know how to fight for some reason. That's good. It's a beauty. Well, that tail is slowly starting to give out on us. Yep. It is producing some really beautiful fish. This one's pretty. He's got both his fins on him. Well, if you eat fish, these are the right kind of fish. The way they got fully finned, colored up, chunky, little 1 pounders, maybe more. I don't know. I guess that could be. I don't think it's 2 pounds, but they're really wide. Really wide. Alright. Look for some more specimens here. Cast out again. I'm going to go a little bit deeper. I think this middle's a little bit deeper. So, just a little bit of depth to that fly. Unfortunately, when you're sitting still and you do that, you can't keep fishing the fly all the way down. You really could be missing bites. But we're just going to keep slowly zagging across here. And looks like he's got another fish on too. Must have lost it. Alright, that line's starting to hinge on us deep enough now. Oh, there we go. Oh, he took that right off the depth hang. That was so funny. Nothing to do that. Didn't even have to slow hand twist, retrieve, or troll. Just get it back to the depth. A little bit of motion to it. Ooh, yeah. Right out of the water. Okay, you can have a little line right when you spit that hook. Man. Some of these fish in here just are have a lot of good showmanship. That's what I call sport fish. Alright, buddy, spit that hook for us and we won't have to do it. Even the little ones are just hunky. Look at that, he's just a tubby little feller. Love that. Away he goes. And that synthetic dubbing's been doing pretty good today. Don't know if it matters what brands you use, I just know that got a couple different things that are very similar, and both just slaying fish today on them. I do think they like more of that black, shiny, slimy, synthetic look today. And I need to show that on the video of what that is exactly. I just haven't done it yet. Cast that further upstream, passing over some fish that could otherwise be hooking into. Talk about my rig a little bit. Well, these Akuma reels, you can just get them right off of Amazon. I wish I had some kind of link I could show you so you could buy one if you wanted one, but they're just legit. They're not fancy. If it gets broke, you're out $50, you buy another one. And this kind of fishing, this kind of reel works perfect. It'll hold line, it's got the large arbor. So I'm running that Cortland 555 also, the clear E-camo. The other line we're running today that he's catching just as many fish on kind of has a different camouflage look than just being clear. And then I've got some, just some fly line backing, or it's potentially ice fishing line. I just use whatever's good and go for it. It's all the same. If it's at least 20-pound braided, you can tie it onto your fly line with an Albright knot. But anyways, and then I fish an 8.6, and I fished his 9-foot max catch on our last trip quite a bit, and it fished fine. And it's a different feel. I like the shorter rod when I'm trolling. The tip's a little more sensitive. I feel like I can detect the bites a little bit better versus the 9-footer. And, you know, I guess to each their own. And once I fished the 9-footer, I started getting used to it. But I definitely felt like I had to let the fish take the fly a little bit more versus on this. But of course, I missed some today because I feel like I can feel more, and then all of a sudden I pull it too early, pull the fly away from them. So I guess everybody has a feel for their own fly rod. But I do like this 8.6, and you know, maybe you can't cast as far, but when you're out on the water, do you really need to? As long as you can get where you're at through paddling or casting up to it, you're probably pretty legit. And, you know, this fly rod went out of warranty, and I didn't know that. I bought it with a lifetime, and then they kind of changed the rules, I think, after I bought it. So it didn't need a warranty, but I bought two similar ones, and the other one was the 9-footer, and it actually broke a long time ago and forgot to get it repaired. So it's kind of why we went over to those TFO rods, because we found them on a website called Sierra, and they just buy fly shops going out of business, just used inventory. And I mean, I was able to pick up 3 TFO 9-foot 2-piece 6-weights for about $50 each around Christmas time. So if you're trying to get into the sport, I mean, $50 TFO on that is great. And their 5-weights would be just fine. This is a 5-weight. He's fishing a 6-weight max catch. And for trolling, you can troll all day with a shorter pole. If you're trying to do some heavy casting in the wind and throwing bobbers around, more technical leaders, which we do a little bit, sometimes you need that longer rod and that higher end rod to do it. But if you're trolling, I mean, you could probably put this stuff on a regular spin cast pole as long as you cut the end off, I guess. I mean, I don't know. But it just shouldn't cost a lot of money to get into the sport, right? But where you got to spend the money is the fishing line. You know, if you're spending $100 on a line, you probably bought the right stuff. When I'm looking at price points, you know, a lot of the lines that are $100 are good lines. They've got a lot of technical capability. I would say I bought 3 different lines in the last year. Bought that other one of this that's on that other pole. That was about $100 or so. Actually, I think the Cortland 555E camos are a lot more cost effective than some of the other brands equivalent. There's a hit. So I think, you know, this line is going to fish just as good as some of those high-end lines. In fact, maybe better in a lot of instances. It's a Type 1, and you know, it's an 1.5 second sinking. but it depends on the line, right? I've noticed some of them are a little bit slower, a little bit faster, however their manufacturing process works out, but it's a legitimate line. Anyways, that's the whole setup right there. It's not tricky. And then I like to do a nail knot to a tapered leader. And I really like the Rio brand, but you really need to straighten your leaders out before you fish them the first time, or they're going to coil and give you a wind knot. We doubled up on trout a bunch today, but I had a day where we'd put fresh leaders on both lines and we both doubled ups with wind knots. So, to each their own, but that's the basic setup for fishing like this. You can do it with a canoe, somebody's paddling, and cast up into the shallows. Then when it slows like this and the wind picks up, that's when it's time to go over to like a bobber setup, and we may end up doing that here shortly if the bite doesn't pick back up. I've only been getting a bite every 10 or 12 minutes or so, and before that it was maybe every 5 or 6 minutes we'd get a little tug or trout. All in all though, that's good. I mean, if it's 4 fish an hour is not bad. Oh, I can hear him splashing. That means he's got another one on that turkey. You get another one? I can hear it splashing, he says. Nice. Yeah, and I've been pretty impressed with that Max Catch rod too. It seems it fishes well. It doesn't cast as good in the wind as the higher end rods we have, which are, another $50 or $100 more is all. Because that thing's $100 in a kit. But for trolling like this, I don't think you can beat the kit. I'm not endorsed by anybody, obviously, but just telling you what we're using, because you see stuff and you wonder, man, would that work? Can I buy that? So, and obviously the reel that we have the Cortland, the E-Camo line on, I think that reel's, I think it's 30-year-old reel. As long as it rotates and you can wind stuff in, you can control the drag of your fish with your hand. You don't even need a high-end reel. Is it nice to have it? Yeah. Be nice to have a $500 reel, sure, maybe, I don't know. Something you can pet and stand around the water cooler and talk about. But that's a good one. But that's not what catches fish, right? Really what catches fish is the fly. Tying it on with a loop knot, having a size and color, the right motion, being where the fish are. And I really feel like having the correct fly line's a big deal. We've got some full sinking lines too that are type 3 or type, I can't remember if they're type 3 or type 5, but at least type 3, so that you can sink it down when the fish go a lot deeper, and you can fish that 10 feet when you're trolling. And most lakes, if they're beyond that, it's pretty tough with the fly rod without starting to use indicator setups and to bring them up to the flies. Well, that's the longest stint I've had all day here without catching fish. So it was nice to be able to talk on video and kind of share my thoughts. Only other thing I wish I could share is the sounds here. There's like croaking toads and crickets and birds. I just don't feel like my microphone can pick any of that up, but this place sounds like a postcard. Anyways, thanks for watching. Oh, fish on. We got a dancer. Oh, those are my favorite when they do that. Oh, he's swimming at me. That was a long stint with that one. I thought we were done filming him for today. He says, look at this. That's a great fish. Maybe not big size, but boy, just coming out of the water. That's why I love rainbows. They just fight so much harder than the cutties. Let's see if he'll spit that fly. No, he's not gonna spit it. Sometimes they'll spit it for you, and other times no. Oh, there he goes. Good. All right, buddy. there for a sec. Pretty fish. Little rainbow. I am digging that all these fish have their fins on them. That's really cool. He's a carryover. It looks like that was his clipped fin one day. Okay, he's out of here. That's cool. So, I always wondered if those clipped fins grow back, but now I'm certain of it because a bunch of fish we caught in here, one fin is a lot smaller than the other ones. So I'm just gonna, I hate to assume anything, but logic would dictate that that's probably what the heck's going on there. You grow back. And that's my hand placed control. Just a little bit deeper, they're just not coming up to the surface, so stop trolling and we'll just let it sink. Black and blued leech again. And the fake Arizona semi-sill. Oh, whoa. Oh, he's coming out of the water. These fish are swimming left and right on us. Look at this fellow. Come on. Sinking line off to the side, so no problem there. Let's see if this little buddy will spit that fly out. Oh, he did. Boy, that has been handy since we pinched that barb down. You know what? Makes it a lot. See how slimier that synthetic looks? It just looks a little bit different. Not a lot. Enough the fish don't seem to mind it. I'm gonna let this guy go. I think he's feeling ready. Alright, pal, you're out of here. It's one of the other things you can do when you don't want to troll necessarily is you can just kind of work these shallows. And there was some fish up in here splashing on me. That might have been one we just caught. The one we just ringed up down there. And they get in here feeding. You know, we've got a good shot at just bringing them in on the hand twist retriever. They did go down deep a little bit, and who knows, maybe we'll get some coming up in the shallows though. This side of the shore is really shallow over there. There's one right there. Right on the hand twist. I wondered if maybe that's what they've been doing. The bite had slowed on the deep water stuff, but okay, alright, you can have some line. Yeah, I thought he was just going in for a quick net. Not this guy. He says no. Alright, come here, pal. I'm gonna let you go. Holy smokes. Boy. He's out of here. It's always fun if you see them ringing up and you can kind of just cast over into the shore and just do a little hand twist retrieve and pull them in without even going to full depth. I'm going to try that again and see if there's some more fish over in here. Last time we gave it like a 20 count and then we just started bringing it in. It's nice because the wind has stopped, and so that's a good time when it's sunny, and if the wind has stopped it, you can sometimes taunt them with this little hand twist retrieve. Doesn't always work, but they can see a long ways away, and especially when that wind dies down and you've got that sun on there, because the lake hasn't quite silvered up yet. We've got some good reflection on it, but not enough that it's gonna block them from seeing everything. So I'm at about the depth of seeing other fish ring up in here. Let's try over by these trees here. Should put a little more line up here. Give that a sec. Just gonna do a couple little paths, just a little further back. Just gonna come over real slow. Who's interested? Let's throw it down a little further. That's it. There's the half battery. Somebody's having a party over there. Spooked him going up in the shallows a little much. Get that shiny still water where it's all glass, and you get up in the shadows, sometimes they'll disperse a little bit. But definitely man, I was reeling up the line and the pole come undone. I caught a fish bringing it in. Okay, here we go. Wow. Okay, we just about lost the tip on that. Wow. I was bringing that in way fast too. Just surprising. There we go. Okay, buddy. Another fish with all of its fins. You can tell he's been going out and back. Really interesting to see that. I mean, it's actually great to see carryover stuff happen like that. almost. Yep. Fell in the category of almost. So his stomach was really empty, and this is all that really came up. When I say stomach, I mean throat sample. We didn't get much. They're just eating some scuzzy little tiny brown larvae. There's little brown chronomid, and I don't know what that one is, but you know, really tiny stuff. You could sit here and dangle it. That's what they're getting fat on, guys. Little tiny chrony with, boy, I would tie that in rust brown with maybe just something lighter to segment it, maybe some copper coil, blackhead. Your chronomid fisher, you know where this place is, you know what they want. She changed over to a fly that has a little bit of, it's got a jig head on it and a bigger tail, so it's got a lot of motion, so it's got to be fished a little bit faster rather than just kind of drifted and tugged. But it can be trolled. So I've got a fly, my favorite fly is the DT butter. We didn't even have to pull the full secret weapon on these fish at all today, but here's a variant of it with some flash in the tail. Little neon head. I'm just looking for fish that are maybe going to ring up or we can throw down on. Maybe do some hand twist retrieve. We'll try trolling it and just see if they'll be more enticed to take that, especially where it's getting dark and we're in the shadows with that black and blue. Not that that's a bad thing, but the sunny side of the pond is definitely fishing better, and I want to see if I can fish the darker side of the pond with this chartreuse bead. It's got that floral yellow look on it. Boy, we've educated some fish in here today. We didn't get all of them on video, but I'd say, I think between the two of us, we're over 40. We could be getting it, working our way up to the 50. It's good fishing today. Real good fishing in here. But the bite has steadily been slowing down, and time to try a few new tactics and see if we can find some other colors or patterns that they're interested in. They'll come up to the top, we'll start throwing some indicator stuff at them. There we go. Or maybe just this one. Figured they'd like that bright yellow and be able to see that a little bit better in the water. Bring them in. Let's see what we got here. Oh, that's fun when they put on an acrobatic show. For sure. Too, so hopefully we can get out of him fairly easy. Whoop, so frapped up, pal. Oh yeah, he didn't have, there's no question. Holy smokes, this poor guy needs surgery. Oh my gosh, somebody left a bait hook in him. Oh, pal, I'm sorry, I'm going to try and help you. I know this is not pretty. Oh, that's sad. Let's see if I can maybe pinch that barb down, and you're going to be better off here. It's your lucky day. I know you got caught, but it really is. There's one. That probably, maybe it feels good, I don't know. Let's get that next one out. Oh, that's so bad. That's crazy. I don't think I've ever caught anyone's trout with the bait hook. You know, if you're gonna use 3 hooks, probably could consider pinching the barb down on a couple of them, maybe. I don't know. That's pretty bad. Okay, well, let's give him some recovery time in the water. I think he's actually going to recover from that. And now my brand new shiny fly is all beat up. See if we can get this looking pretty again. I figured this would be a good pattern. I fished this pattern for years. Just with the olive tail and the DT bugger. In some places they won't take the flash in the tail, and sometimes they will. Let's get some forward water going through those gills and see if we can get them out. Put that hook over here in the safekeepings area. And then, anyways, let's get all the moss off of here. He was down deep in the moss and doing his thing. Always interesting. You never know what you're gonna. You just never know what you're gonna reel in nowadays. There you go. There you go. Okay. I think he's ready. Okay, surgery went well for you. Glad things are good. Get bigger. Don't get too smart. Alright. And I'm still in the process of getting this cleaned up. Now that was interesting. I hadn't really. I was surprised we were able to get that hook out of his beak, man. All 3. The interesting thing is he's still feeding. You know, he's been swimming around hungry, biting stuff because he's been angry. Like a bull in the field or something. I know some of these fish are a little bit savage. When they go swimming off, it's with full attitude, so it's not like they're complacent creatures. And they are, after all, cannibals. Alright. Okay. So, I haven't shown this to anybody. This fly is, I guess now the world can see it. But I've shown people the DT bugger. It's just this and that. But I had a little bit of flash into it for these dark situations when you're trying to fish the dark tree line. Apparently it worked on at least one fish so far. I better get that scuzz off the knot. Anyways, see if we can catch some more. I'll show you what this looks like in the water. It's pretty gnarly. So this thing can be fished directly under a bobber too. But with that little wiggle and the loop knot, fluorocarbon, 60-degree jig hook. I haven't really named this thing. Maybe we'll call it the DTC, the DT bugger and chartreuse for that chartreuse bead. Let's see how well it works before we start calling it a success. Alright, there's a couple fish in here surfacing up, so we cast over to him. There he is. Didn't take him long to see that little yellow bead on there. That almost seems not fair. That's okay. Sorry, pal. I'll let you go and get you in here. Some over there feeding and just threw past the ring and just let it sink down and just kept the line nice and taut. You can tell it's getting darker. That sun's starting to peek through the trees, but it's decent looking little fish. I mean, I'd eat that for dinner if I was hungry. That one's definitely looks edible. It's a nice little bow. Chunky. Hey. Let's see if we'll spit it. Come on. Sometimes it spit these barbels out. Boy, with this one being a little bit smaller than that You know, that black and blued one I tie is on a Daiichi 220, and it's a little longer. This one right here, a little bit smaller. Anyhow, okay. Whoop, there he kind of goes. You ready? I'm gonna let him go a little early. I think he's all right though. So you gotta have that loop knot. And this is a size 14, if you're wondering. That's a size 14 jig hook. So this is set up to actually be dangled under a bobber or pulled under a type 1 intermediate line. And the reason for that is this. Under a bobber, it's doing this in the water. On the intermediate, you get even more action because as you troll, you get that sink type pull, and it has that tail whip to it, if you can see that. So, anyways, it's kind of nice to mess around with flies and kind of figure out the right motions for them, see what you can get away with, and find out what the fish are interested in sometimes. It's not letting me. I gotta get my yellow point through every now and again. It's just sure is starting to get cold though. I'm noticing a big change in temperature right now. Another temperature drop. So might be almost time to go. I just don't know if we've educated enough today. Just past the holiday weekend, so all these fish are the survivors, right? We're in here playing Survivor on Memorial. I guess that's the next big holiday they've got to survive. Probably July 4th, maybe? Don't know. But that's okay. We got another jumper right there. So anytime we have these jumpers, you want to try to cast to them. Get up far enough. That wind is right in my face. I think I didn't cast far enough for that. Darn it. Shoot. But can turn around and paddle back up that way. And there's another one. There's one right there. Just letting it sink. Boy, I don't know if it's turned on for him, but it is for me. Changed flies a little bit, or is the temperature? It's going to be hard to know. Holy smokes. What? Oh, you can tell. Did you catch a big bull? He doesn't have a rounded face. Is it a rainbow still? Yeah, there's definitely some hens in here. Oh, he got off right in front of me. Alright, so there's definitely like some females. The hen. Another one. Taking that. They like that little bead. You can see it down here when it gets dark. Oh, that's a nice one. Boy, that's a nice little buck trout there. They are good with trying to swallow that thing. That's awesome. There you go. I'm going to let you go. And boy, if I was hungry, that's a fat rainbow. Love that. Look at those fins. He's obviously he's carried over. Look at the thickness on him. Boy. Ooh, yeah, if you could hear his little burp. Here you go, pal. Away he goes. Oh, I feel guilty using the DT bugger on him. But this is kind of a variant, so, you know. But it's working too. Down here in the dark side of the tree line, you can't see as much, but boy, that really stands out. Okay. We like purple and blue slurpees and all that too, where no reason to judge the fish for wanting something like that. They don't even have a 7-1. fish on. Right in the shallows, right by shore. You get off? Oh, we've gone to barbless, and so it's a little bit easier for the fish to get off. Oh, he's still on? No, he got off. Okay. You know, some of these flies, they'll just try to gulp them, and others, they're taking them a lot slower. But boy, sure has been a day. Every time I thought this day was over,